The night my father broke my mother's wrist, he was smiling the whole time like he was doing her a favor. He bent it back until it snapped and said, calm as anything. The man in the walls told me you'd been stealing my teeth. Then he sat down and asked her what was for dinner. My dad used to be the gentlest man I knew. He coached my soccer team, cried at weddings, kept butterscotch candies in his coat for kids at church. Then, at 61, the diagnosis came. Frontotemporal dementia. The doctor said it eats the part of the brain that makes you you. Within 2 years, the father I knew was gone, and something wearing his face had moved in. We tried everything. 8 neurologists, pills that turned him into a sleeping stranger, or did nothing at all. My mother quit her job to watch him. I moved back into my childhood bedroom to help. We put alarms on the doors because he wandered. We locked the knives in the car because he'd started carrying them around the house. For protection, he said, against people only he could see. The worst day came on a Sunday. My mom was at the pharmacy, and I'd left him in the den watching golf, which always settled him. I went to fold laundry, gone maybe a few minutes. When I came back, he had my 8-year-old nephew Caleb cornered against the bookshelf, gripping his arm hard enough to bruise, hissing that Caleb was a replacement sent to spy. Caleb was sobbing. I got between them and my father shoved me into the coffee table, splitting my eyebrow open, and said in a voice I'll never forget, I'll bury all of you in the yard where it's quiet. That night, with 7 stitches above my eye, I started calling memory care facilities. Everyone said the same thing. We don't take residents with a documented history of violence. He's too high risk. We're not equipped. One social worker actually told me across a laminate table, families need to understand that aging parents can be difficult. We can't institutionalize someone just because caregiving is hard. I wanted to show her the bite mark on my forearm that had needed antibiotics. Instead, I petitioned the court for an emergency guardianship and secure placement. The hearing was in a cramped room that smelled like old carpet, fluorescent lights humming overhead. My father wasn't there. He'd had an episode that morning and tried to choke the aide who came to dress him. The judge was a tired-looking woman, reading glasses pushed into gray hair. I watched her face shift as she read the file, the police reports, the photo of Caleb's arm, the 11 incident logs from the last 4 months. She looked up. Is there anything you'd like to say before I rule? I had a careful speech ready about systemic failure, but what came out was the thing I'd never said out loud to a living soul. Your Honor, some nights I pray he won't wake up. The room went silent. I love him, I said, my voice cracking. He raised me, but I have a mother who flinches when a man raises his voice, a nephew who won't visit anymore, and I have a father somewhere underneath all this who, in a clear moment last spring, gripped my hand and begged me not to let him become a monster. I couldn't promise him that. I can't protect my family from him, and I can't protect him from himself. If that makes me a bad daughter, then I'm a bad daughter who has run out of doors to knock on. I braced for judgment, but her face softened. I've worn this robe 26 years, she said. I know the difference between people who discard their families and people who've been abandoned by every system meant to catch them. You are the second kind. She picked up her pen. I'm granting emergency placement in a secure memory care unit, effective today. Grieving a man who's still breathing is the loneliest kind of grief there is. You are not a monster. You're a daughter who loved him all the way to the end of what love can carry. I don't remember the drive home. I just remember sitting in his old recliner that night, holding the coat with the butterscotch still in the pockets, crying until I couldn't breathe. For the first time in 2 years, my mother slept with her bedroom door unlocked.